and grow a garden in Roblox, I want to tell you the 10 things you should be doing right now to prepare for the brand new Fairy Part 2 update that is coming out this Saturday. If this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel, and let's get into the video. So the first thing you're going to want to do to prepare for the new event is you're probably going to want to farm your fairy points. As you can see right now, I have not been able to do so. I only have 5,000 fairy points because I spent all my fairy points upgrading my fairy shop and then I stopped farming. I'm probably going to resume farming shortly. I want to make sure I have as many of these as possible leading up to the event because we know that you will be getting a crafting table in this event. If we take a look at this image, you see two crafting related things. You see the seed crafting table, which we have already in the game for regular seed crafting. But then this fairy right here looks like she's a blacksmith holding on to a blacksmith hammer. So she might be able to craft things for you as well. As such, we don't know what requirements she's going to have to do this crafting, and it might be fairy points because people might have a bunch of fairy points after the fact once they're done maxing out all of their stuff involving the fairy godmother here. So as such, make sure you farm up your fairy points. I have seen people with as many as 2 million fairy points because they have farmed this event like mad. I feel like I'm left behind, so I'm going to do that. So number one, farm your fairy points. And what is a great way to farm your fairy points? This is going to lead to point number two. Farm up your glimmer radars. Every time you finish up the quests, glimmer radar are one of the options you have available to you here on the Fountain of Power. And the question I have, and I wonder, is will the requirements for crafting be fairy points, or will the requirements for crafting be mutated fruits, like glimmering fruits? If it's just glimmering fruits, then you can use your radar to loot anything. But if you don't have them, you might regret it. So grab your glimmering radars from the Fountain of Power. How many do I have right now? I am sitting on, personally, about 18, which is decent. I feel like I might want to grab more just in case. I'm thinking it's going to be fairy points as the currency for crafting, but we've seen crafting before in week 2 of events, and it wasn't always the currency, it was other things. As such, that is going to lead perfectly into point number 3. And point number 3 is farm up as many seed packs and eggs as you can. Why am I asking about seed packs and eggs? Well, in previous events we've received in Grow a Garden, I'm thinking the Dino event as an example, to acquire the primal egg, which was the week 2 egg, you needed to craft with week 1 eggs. So week 1 materials and rewards are often used for crafting in week 2 materials and rewards. As such, having as many seed packs and many eggs as you possibly can, one, it's never a bad thing, because even if you don't craft with them later, you can just use them and open them and get your rewards. But being able to craft with them later is very important in case that is the crafting requirement. So now I've covered all your bases of what is most likely going to be needed as the currency for crafting. It's either going to be fairy points, it's either going to be glimmering fruits, or it's going to be seed packs or eggs. If it's anything outside of that, I honestly don't know what to tell you. Now, you're probably wondering, Chrome, this is all great, but how do I get ready for the event? What else can I do to get ready? And this goes into my next point. Point number 4, I believe, is to organize your garden in preparation to grind this event. Currently for me, for example, right now, my garden is not set up for it. It was earlier, I farmed the event, and then I stopped. Right now, my garden is set up to do the ascensions. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So I have one of each of the prismatic plants out here, or like 3 or 4 of each, so that whenever my ascension comes up, I can try and get that exact plant that I need. However, I will be taking all of these plants, shoving them over here to the one side, and replanting my strawberries, my blueberries, my tulips, etc., and pumpkins and watermelons that I don't have, because I want to be able to grind up fairy points. I'll be getting onto that shortly, which reminds me, and actually this is another point, I need to re-enable my acquisitions of pumpkins and watermelons. I don't have any. So organize your garden in preparation for the event. I've already explained in previous videos that the best way to grind the current event and to acquire all of the resources you need, your points, your seed packs, your eggs, is to do the quests and only use the brute force method when necessary. Brute force meaning filling the Fountain of Power with random glimmering plants. Always do the quests. The quests give you the most fairy points Brute Force, I don't believe even gave me any fairy points. So only use it when absolutely necessary. Moving on to thing number 5 you should do before this event comes, and that is to craft any of the plants you may not have crafted before now, because there's always a chance that they rotate out of the store. Take a look at this crafting table right here, our current seed crafting table, and we have some new ones like the Mandrake, but the Twisted Tangle, the Vein Petal, the Horsetail, the Lingonberry, the Amber Seed, or Amber Spine, sorry, are all from older events. I believe some of these are from the prehistoric event. So make sure if you don't have at least one of each of these, to grab them just in case you need them, because you never know when they're eventually going to rotate out and the developers use that crafting table once again. It's been a while. Speaking about organizing your gardens, let's move on to point number 6. Always, and this is such a smart thing to do, always prepare your garden for the Saturday morning admin abuse event. If there are admin mutations you're missing, you want to get your garden ready. What is the best way to do that? Let's say you have a bone blossom tree, or a horned shroom like me, or some other plant that you're trying to put mutations on, or you have some amazing prismatic plants you're trying to put mutations on. Put your prismatic plants to one side of the garden, right? Take your trowel, move them over here just so they're out of the way, make as much space as you can. Then take carrots, as many carrots as you can. And I usually like to flood my garden with maybe 100 to 150 carrots, nothing crazy, right? For example, all these eggs are kind of spread out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're kind of spread out in a line. That's how much I spread out my carrots. So in a line across one side of the garden, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe a 9, 10, and I'll make a line of 10. And then in each section of the garden, I'll have 2 lines of 10, right? So in this segment of garden, I'll do 2 lines of 10, and then in this segment of garden, I'll do 2 lines of 10, and that's how I'll do it. This line, like 2 lines of 10, 2 lines of 10, and that means I spread out 100 to 150 carrots throughout the garden, nicely spread out, nice and even, to catch certain mutations. Some mutations care about where they land. Molten, for example. Wherever that molten rock lands on, those become molten. Same as shot. And other ones don't care. But having at least 100 to 150 will mean you have a very, very good chance of catching the mutations that don't target and catching the mutations that do target. And then, once the event is over, clear all the carrots out of your garden that don't have mutations that you want or need. Take them, sell them, doesn't matter. Leave the ones on the garden with mutations you do have and do need, and then it comes down to the Spinosaurus or the T-Rex. I like the Spinosaurus. What you do is you click favorites, or you use the favoriting tool on the one plant you want to put the mutations on. You favorite that one. And then the Spinosaurus will go around your garden eating the mutations off of all the other plants and spitting them onto the favorited plant. Spinosaurus is expensive for a reason. The Spinosaurus is a good trading piece for a reason in my trading videos, because he's exceptionally useful for this purpose. Point number 7, tip number 7, things you should do in preparation for the next event. And that is to continue, yes, to continue to farm your ascensions, to continue to farm your garden coins. Because as of right now, when we look in the shop, we only have a certain number of things we can use garden coins on. You have slave slot upgrades, egg capacity, pet inventory capacity. In case you guys missed it, pet inventory capacity is there. Cosmetic inventory capacity and plant inventory capacity. Personally, the plant one is dead last because I have the achievement statue and I have another 100 slots for plants. I'm not too much of a hurry. And then after that, you also have a secret shop that many people are aware of, but in case you're not, there's a secret shop here. You have to build your friendship with Sam. How to do that? Grab a piece of food, any piece of food, right? For example, I have prismatic smoothies left over. If you approach him, his friendship level for me is 2, right? You can give food to him once every 24 hours. There are specific pieces of food that do better than random pieces of food, like cheeseburgers are one, for example. Jump onto Google and try and find it. I bet you YouTubers have covered that already. And then once you feed him, you level him up and you get access to a secret shop. This is the secret shop, tier 2 shop. And as you can see, broccoli seeds cost garden coins, potato seeds, Brussels seeds, and then this cocoa mango seed, which is really, really close to the bone blossom in base value. Let me repeat that. This thing right here, the cocoa mango seed, is really, really close to the bone blossom in base value. It is a prismatic plant, not quite transcendent, but it's really close. As such, doing your ascensions will let you unlock this. And why am I mentioning ascensions? Because the developers can always add more things. Speaking of which, this just reminded me of a little leak. You get a free leak in this. check this out. Caesar Salad in the leak session of the Dawn Discord, link in the description down below, says, seems like they're maybe adding the friendship tiers to the egg shop next, considering it's currently broken, which is what happened when they added the seed tiers. And gears potentially too. And then he goes to say, this wasn't the problem with the bots, but they're going to be adding friendship and stuff to all of the NPCs as previously mentioned, but probably not this update. So maybe not this update, but soon you might get friendship tiers to other shops, which means you're probably going to need these garden coins for doing your ascensions. So if you're capable, if you're at that stage in the game, which is kind of a late game stage, go ahead and continue to do your ascensions. Yes, you can lose your shekels, but shekel trading has been re-enabled. Just trade your shekels to your alt, leave enough to do the ascension, trade them back. It's going to cost you 20% of your shekels every time you do it, but at least you can still do it. Moving on to point number 8, tip number 8 for you guys. Actually, speaking about the Dawn Discord server, get yourself a Discord notifier, because the Discord notifier will let you know when certain weathers are coming into play, so you can get your proper weathers and your proper plants to get your ascension. It will let you know when things are in the seed shop, when things are in the gear shop, when certain eggs are coming into play, whenever the admin talks, and more and more. My favorite Discord server for this is the Dawn Discord server. Again, link in the description down below. Dawn also offer us leaks for free, which is phenomenal. They also let us know the forever pack and when the super seed is super cheap. This is how I know and tell you guys in my community posts. It's also a great place for trading and also a great community. I'm in there all the time. I'm talking in there all the time. I'm over 8,000 messages in the Discord server. I need to get a life. So go ahead and check out Dawn. It is awesome. You'll love it. It's a great Discord notifier server. Moving on to point number 9, make sure you farm up your shekels for the ascensions, for anything they want to put in the store. There are many ways to farm shekels. One of the simplest for many of you who don't have the ability to make an amazing plant, don't have raccoons, this, that, the other thing, guys, just take your half decent pets and try to sell them for shekels. In public Discord servers, you'll see people with lots and lots of shekels and just say selling pets for shekels, and you'll be shocked at what you can get for pets. And if that doesn't work, go to the official Discord server and try selling your pet there. Here I am on the official Discord server, and let's say I have a Brontosaurus. I bet you people might want to buy the Brontosaurus from me. I just searched for the words buying Brontosaurus on the Discord. This person's offering 5 sextillion for a Brontosaurus, and this guy's offering 8 sextillion for a Brontosaurus. So if you really need some quick shekels, grab any random pet you've hatched recently and see if somebody's trying to buy it from you. And point number 10, my final super important tip. And you guys, you got to pay close attention to this, okay? If you don't do this, you're going to miss out on the event. You're going to miss out on things in the future. Make sure you subscribe to KroBlox.